Vladimir Putin, the man synonymous with Russia's power, started his journey in the shadows of the Soviet Union's notorious security agency, the KGB. Born in the heart of Leningrad, now known as St. Petersburg, in 1952, Putin was not born into a life of privilege. His parents were ordinary citizens. His father, a conscripted soldier in the Soviet Navy. His mother, a factory worker. Yet, Putin was marked by an indomitable spirit from a young age. His interest in politics and power dynamics led him to the Leningrad State University, where he studied law. It was in these hallowed halls where his path would lead him to join the KGB in 1975. And so, as a young 23-year-old, Putin stepped into the world of intelligence, shadow games, and strategic maneuvers. Thus, in the heart of the Cold War, Putin took his first steps into a world of secrecy, intelligence, and power play. Inside the formidable walls of the KGB, Putin was being molded, his worldview shaped by the clandestine operations, and his skills honed for a future nobody could predict. In the heart of Leningrad, within the first chief directorate of the KGB, a young Vladimir Putin served his country with a determined focus. His primary assignment was to keep an eye on foreigners and consular officials, a task that required patience, discretion, and a keen understanding of human nature. But his time at the KGB was more than just surveillance duties. It was an education in the art of covert operations and a deep dive into the world of international politics. As Putin climbed the ranks within the agency, he was exposed to a wide spectrum of assignments. From counterintelligence operations to political policing, each task was a new challenge and a new opportunity to sharpen his skills. Each mission, each moment contributed to the making of the man who would one day lead Russia. But the KGB was not just a career for Putin. It was a crucible that shaped his worldview and leadership style. The agency's culture of secrecy, its focus on strategy, and its relentless pursuit of national security objectives became ingrained in him. His KGB years taught him to value loyalty, to be patient, and to play the long game. These traits would later become hallmarks of his leadership. It's also worth noting that Putin's KGB years were during a time of considerable tension between the Soviet Union and the West. This period exposed him to the realities of international politics, further shaping his approach to foreign policy. From the corridors of the KGB to the helm of the Russian state, Putin's journey is a testament to the lasting influence of his intelligence background. His leadership style, marked by strategic thinking, patience, and a relentless pursuit of national interests, can be traced back to his time in the KGB. The KGB years were more than just a job for Putin. They were the foundation of his future leadership style. From the shadows of the KGB, Putin stepped into the glaring lights of politics, bringing with him the lessons learned in secrecy and power. Emerging from the covert world of the KGB, Vladimir Putin found his footing in the political landscape of Russia. His first steps into this new arena began in the early 90s in the city of St. Petersburg, once known as Leningrad, the very city where he had served as a KGB officer. In 1991, amidst the tumultuous backdrop of a collapsing Soviet Union, he assumed the role of mayor in this historic city. It was here that Putin demonstrated his political prowess, navigating the challenges of a city in transition. His leadership during this time was marked by a blend of his KGB-honed skills of negotiation and strategy, along with a newfound political acumen, and the combination proved potent. Over the course of his tenure, Putin managed to steer St. Petersburg onto a path of stability and economic growth, an achievement that did not go unnoticed. In 1996, he was summoned to Moscow, the heart of Russian politics. Here, he served in the presidential administration under Boris Yeltsin, first as deputy chief of staff, then as the first deputy prime minister. His rise was rapid, and by 1999, just 3 years after his arrival in Moscow, Putin was appointed as prime minister. This appointment marked a significant turning point in Putin's political ascent, for it was during his time as prime minister that Putin showcased his ability to handle crises, his determination, and his unwavering commitment to Russia's interests, traits that endeared him to the Russian populace and laid the groundwork for his eventual ascension to the presidency. With the turn of the millennium, Russia found its new leader in Vladimir Putin. As the world celebrated the dawn of a new era, Russia too heralded the arrival of a new era, one under the leadership of a man whose journey to power began in the secretive ranks of the KGB and culminated in the highest office of the land. As Putin took the reins of Russia, the world watched with bated breath. The former KGB officer was now in control of one of the world's most powerful nations. Vladimir Putin's rise to power in Russia was not a matter of chance, but the result of a carefully crafted path. His tenure as Russia's president and prime minister has been marked by a mix of hardline policies and strategic diplomacy, often influenced by his background in the KGB. Putin's presidency began in the year 2000. He inherited a nation in turmoil, with a floundering economy and a society grappling with the sudden shift to capitalism. But Putin, with his KGB-honed strategic mind, knew how to navigate through the chaos. One of Putin's first tasks was to stabilize Russia's economy. He introduced a flat tax system, which simplified tax administration and increased government revenue. He also put an end to the chaotic privatization of state assets, bringing key industries under state control. This move not only reinvigorated Russia's economy, but also allowed Putin to consolidate power. In terms of foreign policy, Putin's KGB background was evident. He pursued a policy of sovereign democracy, asserting Russia's independent role in global affairs. Despite international criticism, Putin stood firm, unwilling to let Western powers dictate Russia's path. Throughout his tenure, Putin has shown an unflinching resolve to protect Russia's interests. When Chechen separatists threatened Russia's territorial integrity, Putin responded with a brutal military campaign. The war was controversial, but it solidified Putin's image as a strong leader, unwilling to compromise on Russia's sovereignty. Yet, Putin's reign has not been without controversy. His government has been accused of suppressing political dissent, controlling the media, and even orchestrating assassinations of critics. These allegations, however, have done little to shake Putin's hold on power. Throughout his leadership, Putin has displayed a unique blend of strategic thinking and ruthless pragmatism, traits he honed during his time in the KGB. He has navigated Russia through economic crises, geopolitical challenges, and internal strife, all the while maintaining a firm grip on power. Yet, despite the controversies and criticisms, Putin's influence on Russia is undeniable. Under his rule, Russia has re-emerged as a global power, its voice once again resonating on the world stage. His leadership style, marked by a mix of strategic diplomacy and unyielding resolve, has shaped Russia's path in the 21st century. Under Putin's rule, Russia's global standing has been a reflection of his KGB-trained strategic thinking. It is a testament to his ability to adapt the skills he learned as a young KGB officer to the complex world of global politics. Whether admired or feared, Putin's reign has left an indelible mark on Russia and the world. Vladimir Putin, the enigmatic leader of Russia, is a product of his past, his KGB background influencing his leadership style, his decisions, and ultimately, Russia's trajectory. Indeed, understanding Putin's journey from a young KGB officer to the helm of Russia's leadership is akin to unlocking a complex puzzle, providing a unique lens through which to view his actions and decisions. His days at the KGB, the Soviet Union's main security agency, were formative. Here, Putin honed his skills in intelligence, surveillance, and strategy. He was assigned to the First Chief Directorate in Leningrad, tasked with monitoring foreigners and consular officials. This experience created a leader who values control, secrecy, and above all, loyalty. As he transitioned into politics, Putin's KGB instincts remained. His leadership style reflected the same precision and meticulousness he had shown in his intelligence work. He was a leader who kept his cards close to his chest, often surprising the world with his strategic moves. Throughout his reign, Putin's KGB background has been evident. His decision-making often displays a keen understanding of power dynamics, a trait undoubtedly sharpened during his intelligence days. His actions on the global stage, too, reflect a strategic mind, capable of navigating complex geopolitical landscapes with a calculated calm. But perhaps the most telling influence of Putin's KGB background is his approach to dissent. Just as he once monitored foreigners and consular officials, he now keeps a close eye on opposition within his country. valuing stability and control above all else. Thus, the story of Vladimir Putin is a testament to the profound influence of one's past on their present, and perhaps their future. His journey from the KGB to the Kremlin is a powerful reminder of how experiences shape leaders and, in turn, the course of nations. The legacy of this KGB-born leader continues to unfold, his past forever intertwined with Russia's trajectory.